Now let us begin with the chapter Natural Calamities. Natural calamities or natural disasters. What do you mean by this, children? Natural calamities or natural disasters are events that are caused by natural activities. Okay? So, natural disasters are events that are caused by natural activities. How does this event take place? These events take place without any human involvement. It is not because of any humans. Humans are not involved in these natural disasters, but it is due to the extreme changes in the weather conditions. Extreme changes in the weather conditions, such as during heavy rainfall. You will have some natural calamities during heavy rainfall, like floods. Okay, there will not be any place for water to go, right? At that time, what it happens is flood is caused. Then high temperature. Then changes that take place below the earth's surface. This all can lead to natural disasters or natural calamities. Have you understood, children? So natural disasters or natural calamities are events that are caused by natural activities but not by human involvement. Is it clear now? Okay, children. Now we are going to see about some natural calamities. Okay, the first natural calamity which we are going to see about is the earthquake. Okay, now look at this picture. Look at this picture of earthquake, children. Can you just see what has happened because of earthquake here? Can you see that, children? Okay. Okay, children. Now let us see what is an earthquake and how is it caused. Okay. Now an earthquake is a tremor. Tremor. Tremor means slight shaking that occurs due to sudden movements or vibrations below the earth's surface. Due to some sudden movements or vibration below the earth's surface, okay, this earthquake occurs. Okay, it is a tremor, it is a slight shaking due to some movements. Okay, sometimes these vibrations, these movements are so powerful that they damage the buildings, bridges. I told you that it's a slight shaking. Yes or no? Sometimes this might be very powerful. This vibration might be very powerful. So when it's very powerful, what happens is it damages buildings, bridges, roads, dams and other structures and causes death for the people. Is it clear? Did you see the first picture which I showed now, earthquake? Yes or no? So it damages when there is when the vibration is too much, automatically when it's so powerful, it automatically damages the buildings, roads, everything, and it even causes death for the people. Is it clear now? The intensity of an earthquake is measured with a device called seismograph. The intensity of an earthquake is measured with a device called seismograph. What do you mean by the word intensity, children? Intensity. Intensity means a very strong effect. So, the effect of an earthquake is measured with the help of an instrument called seismograph. So, during an earthquake, a seismograph, that is that instrument, records the vibrations of the ground in the form of a graph. So, the vibration of a ground is recorded with the help of an instrument, okay, and it is in the form of a graph. It is in the form of a graph. Are you clear, children, now? Okay. Now, the first major earthquake, if you see, it occurred in Gujarat in the year 2001 in 26 January. On 26 January 2001, a major earthquake occurred in the state called Gujarat in India. Thousands of people died and lot of infrastructure was destroyed. What is infrastructure? Infrastructure means what? Yes? What is infrastructure, children? What is infrastructure? Any idea of what is infrastructure? The physical and organizational structure. The facilities such as buildings and roads. This is only called as infrastructure. So in Gujarat, when the earthquake occurred on 26 January 2001, what happened? Thousands of people died and the infrastructure was destroyed. Is it clear now, children? Are you clear with what is an earthquake? Okay. Now look at this picture, children. We are going to see what is a focus and what is an epicenter. What is the focus, children? F-O-C-U-S, focus. Focus is the point within the earth where the rocks under stress. Some rocks are under stress. Now such type of stress rocks breaks. Okay, the rocks get stressed, children, during this earthquake. Now such type of rocks under stress breaks, which is called the focus. So that point within the earth where rocks under stress breaks is called the focus. Is it clear? Now what is epicenter? The point directly above the focus on the surface is the epicenter. Okay, the point directly above the focus on the surface is the epicenter. You can see there where is the epicenter. Okay, just see in the picture above the focus, it is the epicenter. Okay, now I already told you that the intensity of an earthquake, the effect of an earthquake is measured with the help of an instrument called seismograph. Yes, now the effect, that is the intensity of an earthquake, is highest at its epicenter. Because epicenter is the place from where the earthquake starts. Epicenter is the place from where the earthquake starts. That is why the effect of an earthquake is highest at the epicenter. Is highest at the epicenter. Are you clear with this, children? Are you clear or not? Okay, good. Now listen, children. Can you look at this picture? Yes, just observe the picture. What is this? Yes, this is the seismograph. I told you that the effect of an earthquake, that is the intensity of an earthquake, is measured with a device called seismograph. It is measured with a device called seismograph. Are you clear now? Yes, children. Now you might have understood what is an earthquake and how is it caused, right? Now we are going to see what are the safety measures to be followed. Okay, when you experience that earthquake, what are the safety measures to be followed? Move out of the buildings when an earthquake occurs. Okay, when an earthquake occurs, move out of the buildings. Go to open areas away from buildings. You should not stay near the buildings. You should come immediately out of the buildings when an earthquake starts. Is it clear? Go to some open areas away from the buildings, trees, and especially electric poles. Okay, so you should be very careful, children. When an earthquake occurs, you should go to open areas, should be away from the buildings, trees, and especially electric poles. Be away from breakable things such as mirrors, glass doors, and windows. Because these type of things, when there is a sudden shake, what will happen is it breaks immediately because it's a glass, children. So when it breaks, it automatically injures you. That is why we say that you have to keep away from breakable things such as mirrors, glass doors, and windows, so that you don't get any injury. In earthquake prone areas, you should construct the buildings, children, in the places where earthquake doesn't occur. Such type of places you have to construct the buildings. Or you should construct the buildings in that areas where even if an earthquake occurs, it doesn't damages anything. It doesn't damages the building. Such type of areas you have to construct the buildings. So these are the safety measures you have to follow when an earthquake occurs. Is it clear, children, now? Okay. Yes, children. Now look at this picture. Okay, volcanic eruptions. The first one, we are going to see the layers of the earth, children. There are 4 different layers. What is that? Is crust, mantle, outer core and inner core. What are the 4 layers of the earth? Crust, mantle, outer core and inner core. Now, the temperature increases as we go down from the crust to the inner core. So, when we go down from the crust to the inner core, what happens is the temperature increases. Now, due to this high temperature, what happens is the rocks below the surface of the earth are in a molten state. The rocks are try to get melted. The rocks get melted. Okay, so why the rocks get melted? Because I told you that as we go down from the crust to the inner core, the temperature increases. Now, due to the increase in this temperature or high temperature, what happens? The rocks below the surface of the earth are in a molten state. That is, it gets melted, which is called the magma. That molten rock is only called the magma. Is it clear now? Are you clear, children? Now, what is a crust, children? The crust is the hard layer. The crust is the hard layer. What do you mean by core? Core is the center. Okay. So, if you see here, okay, and mantle is nothing between the crust and the outer core. That particular part name is mantle. Okay, so now you might have understood. Yes or no? Now listen very carefully. Okay, when you go down from the crust to the inner core, what happens? What happens, children? The temperature increases. So due to the high temperature, the rocks get melted, children. The rocks below the surface of the earth gets melted. They come to a molten state. That molten state is only called as magma. What is that molten state called as? Magma. Is it clear now? Now look at this picture, children. Now I told you that the temperature increases when we go down from the crust to the inner core. Now, due to this high temperature, what happens is the rocks below the surface of the earth are in a molten state, which is called magma. In some places, if you see, the magma reaches the surface and erupts through an opening. Erupts means throws out fire. Can you see how it's throwing out the fire there in the picture? So, the magma reaches the surface and erupts through an opening on the top of a mountain. So, it throws out the fire on the top of a mountain, which is called a volcano. Okay, that is only called as a volcano. Now, the magma rises through the main opening. That main opening is also called as vent. It is also called as vent. So, the magma rises through the main opening or main vent of the volcano and then comes out. So, the magma rises through the main opening. I told you that molten state is only magma. I told you. Now, the magma rises through the main opening or the main vent of the volcano and then comes out. Once it flows out, it is called lava. When that magma flows out, it is called lava. What is the name when the magma flows out? It is called lava. Okay. Sometimes this lava also comes out of certain weak points on the sides of the volcanoes called secondary vents. Okay. Sometimes what happens? This lava also comes out from certain weak points which are on the sides of the volcanoes. That is called secondary vent. So, the first vent, if you see, I told you that in some places the magma reaches the surface and throws out fire through an opening on the top of a mountain. On the top of a mountain which is called a volcano. So, the magma rises through this main opening, okay, and then comes out. Once it flows out, it is called as lava. Sometimes the lava is there. No, what happens is, instead of coming up from the top of the mountain, it comes out on the, okay, it comes out, how it comes out? Of certain weak points on the sides of the volcanoes, which is called as secondary vents. Now, along with this lava, the volcanoes also release some gases, ash and rock. Now, this type of a lava is a high risk to the surrounding children. This lava, it is a high risk to the surrounding. It can cause damage to life and property. So, that is why you should be very careful. Is it clear now? Now, what are the safety measures you should follow, children? Okay. In the case of volcanic eruptions, evacuate the people living near volcanoes. You have to vacate the people from there, those who are living near the volcanoes, to safer places. You should shift them to safer places and avoid all low-lying places, because lava flows and mud flows are more likely to pass through these areas. Because the people living near the volcanoes, what will happen is, they have to be shifted to safer places, because the lava flows and mud flows are more likely to pass through that areas. That is why the people living near the volcanoes should be vacated and sent to safer places. Is it clear now, children? Have you understood this? Okay, fine. Yes, children. Now you might have heard about tsunamis. Okay, this is another natural disaster, children. Okay, the tsunamis, if you see, it is a series of giant waves formed in the seas and oceans. Can you look at the picture, children? How is that giant waves? Why do we call it as giant waves? Means the waves are very huge, children, very big. That is why it is called as giant waves. So it is normally formed in the seas and oceans. Now when this tsunami hits the coastal areas means the areas near the sea. So when these tsunamis hit the coastal areas, they cause loss of life and destruction to property. Many people die and properties are also damaged. Tsunamis also is a result of the underwater earthquakes occurring under the water, or volcanic eruptions under the water. So, tsunamis are caused as a result of underwater earthquakes or volcanic eruptions. Now, the tsunami waves completely destroy the cities, children, towns and villages located near the coastal areas, that is the areas located near the sea. Okay, so what happened is, on 26 December 2004, a strong underwater earthquake near the west coast of Sumatra in Indonesia caused a huge tsunami, children. It hit the coastal areas of 11 countries, including India, Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh, Odisha, and the Union Territory of Andaman and Nicobar were the worst affected by the tsunami in India. Understood? Is it clear, children? So, tsunami is a series of giant waves formed in the seas and oceans. So, if tsunami occurs also, it causes loss of life and destruction to property on a large scale, children. Now, the tsunamis also occur as a result of, tsunamis are also formed as a result of underwater earthquake or volcanic eruptions. I hope you might have understood what is earthquake and volcanic eruption also. Okay, tsunamis are nothing but they are, what they are? They are a very big sea waves in the seas or oceans, formed in the seas or ocean. In 26 December 2004 also we had a very strong underwater earthquake in India. Okay, is it clear, children? Have you understood this? Okay, children. Now what are the safety measures you would follow? Okay, for a tsunami. What are the safety measures, children? Now, you have to be alert to the signs of a tsunami, children. Like there would be some signs that tsunami is going to occur. How would you see that signs, children? Sometimes if you see, there might be a sudden rise or draining of ocean waters. There might be a sudden rise or draining of ocean waters. In the news, they might give information that there is a heavy rainfall. Okay, they might give information and some alerts, children. So during that time, you have to pay attention to that emergency information and alerts. You have to move away from the coastal areas and try to get to higher ground. Okay, you have to move away from coastal areas in such situation, and you have to try to get to higher ground somewhere. Is it clear now? So these are the safety measures. You have to be alert to the signs of a tsunami, such as a sudden rise or draining of ocean waters. You have to pay attention to emergency informations and alerts. And you have to move away from coastal areas whenever you get some emergency information or alerts. You have to move away from coastal areas, children. And you have to shift to some higher ground like that. Is it clear, children? Okay. Yes, children. The next natural calamities which we are going to see about is cyclones. What is that? Cyclones. Now, cyclones are giant whirlwind storms. Cyclones are giant whirlwind storms. I already told you the word giant means huge or very big. Okay. So, storms means you know that it's a strong wind, children. Whirlwind storm means, what is that? Spinning motion. It's a very huge storm in a spinning motion. Okay. The cyclones can be correctly and precisely predicted, children. It can be correctly told that something is going to happen in the future. Said that something is going to happen in the future. Okay. Cyclones form over warm oceans and can cause devastation when they approach the shore. So where these cyclones are formed, children, where the oceans are warm, and this can cause, what it causes is devastation, that is destruction to everything, destruction to the property. The cyclones cause destruction, damages. Devastation means damages to the property. When they come to the shore, that is at the end, to the sea shore we say, ocean shore, like that, when they come there, what happens is, everything gets damaged, children. Devastation occurs there. Everything gets damaged. Is it clear, children? So cyclones, what are cyclones? Cyclones are giant whirlwind storms. That is a very strong wind in a spinning motion, children. In a spinning motion. Now, the cyclones can be predicted correctly, children. They can say that something is going to happen in the future. Like that, it can be predicted. But where the cyclone occurs is in warm oceans. And what happens is, when it occurs, it can cause destruction, damage to the environment. Is it clear now? And the cyclones also produce heavy rains, children. And thus it floods, children. Lot of water. Due to heavy rains, lot of water. It floods the coastal region. Okay. Lot of water comes in the coastal region, that is near the sea or oceans. Lot of waters will be there. Cyclones has another name as hurricanes and typhoons. Cyclones have another name as hurricanes and typhoons in different parts of the world. On 26 April 2019, cyclone hit the coastal areas of Odisha and Andhra Pradesh. Cyclones hit the coastal areas of Odisha and Andhra Pradesh. You all know what is coastal areas, that is areas near the sea or ocean. It is called coastal areas. Here, what happened in Odisha and Andhra Pradesh due to the cyclone, the winds blew at a very high speed. Okay, and it damaged the transportation and communication system also. Is it clear now? Have you understood, children, what are cyclones? Are you clear with that? Okay. So what are the safety measures, children, now for cyclones? What are the safety measures is, first you have to listen to the radio, that warnings and advice they give, official warnings and advice given in the radios, children. They'll say that something is going to likely, like cyclone is going to be formed, or like that. They might give a warning signal that something is going to happen in the environment. Immediately you should get alert, children. Okay, so what you have to do is, you have to listen to the local radio for official warnings and advice. Okay, if you are living near the coastal areas, you have to evacuate from that places, move away from that places. And when there is a cyclone, you should not go near that damaged power lines, bridges, buildings and trees. And you should avoid going into the flood waters also. You know why? Because sometimes that power lines might be fallen down due to the cyclones. Okay, and in that water you will not be able to notice that where is that power line. And when, without noticing, if you go and stamp in that power line, then ultimately it might damage your life. Okay, so that is why I am saying that you should be very careful in the case of cyclones. Okay, you should not walk in the flooded water. Is it clear, children? So what are the safety measures we have to follow? Listen to the local radio for official warnings and advice. If you are residing near coastal areas, you have to vacate from that places. Okay, you have to be away from the damaged power lines, bridges, buildings and trees, and avoid going into the flood waters in the case of a cyclone. Is it clear? All right. Okay. Children, the next natural disaster which we are going to see about now is floods. You all know what are floods, children. Okay, when does a flood take place? When water is so much water, large amount of water is accumulated in a particular area. Okay, is collected in a particular area. Why? Because of heavy rainfall, cloud burst, melting of snow in the mountains. Okay, so because of all this, what happens is, or sometimes breaking of river embankments also, children. Breaking of river embankments, that is artificial slopes made of earth to prevent a river from overflowing. Okay, it is because of the river overflowing, children. That is what we call it as breaking of river embankments. Okay, so these sometimes if you see, the cyclones also cause floods. Cyclones also cause flood, as I told you, right? Now you all know what are floods. Due to heavy rainfall, water gets accumulated in some areas or in a particular area. Okay, it is not only due to heavy rainfall, due to cloud burst, okay, melting of snow in the mountains, okay, landslides, river embankments. All because of this, you have this floods. You have the flood. What are landslides, children? It is a movement of the earth. Okay, landslide is also a movement of the earth. Okay, now have you understood, children? And what is a cloudburst, children? A cloudburst is a sudden and heavy downpour which takes place over a particular area for a short period of time. Okay, it's a heavy downpour, that is heavily water is dropping, children. Okay, it takes place over a particular area for a short period of time. Heavy water pour, heavy downpour, children. That is it clear? That is only a cloud burst. Now have you understood what is landslides and what is cloud burst, children? Okay, so floods take place when a large amount of water is accumulated in an area. Are you clear with this now? Okay. Now, on 16th and 17th June 2013, a cloud burst and heavy rain caused landslides and massive floods in many districts of Uttarakhand. They also damaged the Kedarnath temple and affected thousands of pilgrims. People who went for worship there, they were affected there because of this massive floods. So floods are nothing but it is large amount of water accumulated in a particular area due to heavy rainfall, cloudburst, landslides, breaking of river embankments, all this. Is it clear now? Have you understood, children, floods? Now what are the safety measures you have to follow in the case of floods? Move to safer places when you receive the warnings that a flood is approaching. You have to move to safer places when you receive the warning that a flood is approaching. You have to get to places such that water doesn't get accumulated in that areas. Okay, you have to try to stay indoors, don't come outdoors. Be inside your house itself. Okay, till you get any help. Okay, switch off all the electrical appliances and move to higher grounds. Don't keep any electrical appliances switched on during flood time, children. Is it clear now? Are you clear with this? So what are the safety measures, children? Move to safer places on receiving the warnings of an approaching flood. Try to stay indoors. Till any help arrives, you have to switch off all the electrical appliances and move to higher grounds, because you cannot, when there is a lot of water, you should not touch the electrical appliances, children, in that area, because it might shock. Is it clear, children? Okay. Okay, now listen, children. Now we are going to see about the last natural calamity, droughts. What is the last natural calamities we are going to see about is droughts. Now look at this picture, children. Can you see how it is very dried, children? It's dried. I told you that when there is too much of water that accumulated in a particular area also, it is danger. When you don't have a drop of water also, it is danger. When there is heavy rainfall also, it is a danger. We have floods. But when there is no rainfall at all or very less rainfall also, we have danger, children. We should have rain at least to a medium level, children. Because if there is no rain, we will not have water. So the absence of rainfall might lead to drought, children, because of shortage of water. When there is absence of rainfall, you will have shortage of water in that particular area. And if there is no water, we cannot survive, children. We cannot survive. That is why a drought leads to crop failure. We won't get food, children. And that is why it leads to starvation and deaths. Starvation and deaths, you will feel thirsty. Okay? You will not have any food. You will die of hunger. Right? So, if there is no rainfall, absence of rainfall will lead to shortage of water, which is called drought. Is it clear, children? And if there is drought, you will have crop failure, children. You will not have food. And you will die if you don't have food and water. Is it clear now? In India, some major drought-prone regions are there, children. Drought-prone regions. That is, there are some regions where you will have absence of rainfall, like the southern and eastern Maharashtra, northern Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh, Odisha, Gujarat and Rajasthan. In 2013, if you see, many districts of Maharashtra, of the state Maharashtra, were affected by drought, which was the result of scanty rainfall. Which was the result of scanty rainfall. Are you clear, children? Droughts now? Okay. Okay, children. Now let us see what are the preventive, that safety measures, children. That is, before a drought, how can you take a safety measure? You have to develop irrigation facilities by building dams. Okay, you have to build dams, children. Then only you can water the crops even if there is no rainfall. That is what is called as irrigation facilities. Okay. Then you have to increase the underground water through rainwater harvesting. You have to store the rainwater. Whenever you get rain, you have to store that water, children. That is what is called as rainwater harvesting. So you have to increase the underground water through rainwater harvesting. So these are the preventive or safety measures you can take to avoid these droughts. Is it clear, children? Now have you understood about this natural calamities, children? If you follow the safety measures, you can surely avoid all this natural calamities, or you cannot say you can definitely avoid, you can at least save yourself from this natural calamities. Is it clear, children? Are you clear? Okay, children. Thank you, children.